Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video breakdown. Myself and Mr. Aqua hosting our Friday calls, discussing and talking about ongoing developments in the DeFi ecosystem, the crypto Web3 ecosystem, and just covering all topics digital transformation, keeping you guys in the loop with what's happening behind the scenes. In today's video breakdown, as we allow people to roll into this live Friday call, we're going to first start off with this whole discussion and talk on the town about um, robots replacing jobs. I'm sure that you guys have seen this trending video that I'm going to play for you all. The individual worker from the Tesla factory, looks like, talking about artificial intelligence and robots replacing jobs. I'm going to show you guys physical proof that that is for a fact happening, just to cover some digital transformation topics and show you guys that this is not a conspiracy theory, that it is happening behind the scenes, and then transition over into DeFi and why it is so important that you all pay attention to the DeFi developments in this space to learn how to get your digital assets working for you so that you are not dependent in this new financial era on a boss or on a job. You can, take your digital assets, you can deploy them into DeFi protocols, and you can get your assets working for you, making passive income, hopefully building a big enough portfolio to free yourself from the slave system, the 9 to 5 working mentality, and maybe again combat against the possibility of artificial intelligence replacing you in the workforce. So as we allow people to roll in, let's just roll this video clip so everybody's aware of something that's trending. And I find it so interesting that an individual worker, right, with no real social media presence comes in, drops this video breakdown talking about artificial intelligence replacing jobs. Yet researchers like myself and other in-depth researchers out there have been attempting to show you guys that this is happening behind the scenes. But platforms like ours here at CYPRX and other researchers out there will barely get any views. Right. So just take a second. I'm going to share my screen with you guys real fast, and we're going to show this video clip, and then we're going to get into some fundamental documents, really physically showing you guys that this is for a fact happening. It is not a smoke screen, and it's not some scare tactic. It is 110% happening. And I mean, at the end of the day, to each his own, take it for what you will. But it's something that everybody should be paying attention to. So give me a second while I go in and share this recording. All right, Mr. Aqua, let me know if you can hear this real quick.
Yeah. So there's a lot of people from my last video.
Yeah, you're good, brother.
You can hear it? All right, cool,
Yes,
sweet.
sir.
Let's roll it.
Yeah. So there's a lot of people from my last video saying that nothing's coming, nothing's gonna happen, I'm paranoid, don't know what I'm talking about. I'm telling you like this. This is where I'm working, okay? I'll read that. This is where I'm working right now. The man who owns that company, I'll say Shelon Tuss. Y'all know Shelon Tuss. Find the rhyme, the rhythm. He has to work in 12-hour shifts, 7 days a week. I'm an electrician. I wire up all the machinery that they're using to build the trucks. I'm wiring up all the machinery that they are using to build these robots, okay? We are working 12 hours, 7 days a week. I have worked for TikTok. I have worked for Amazon. I have worked for Samsung. I have worked for Fortune 500 companies all year. Nobody is pushing their people like this, okay? 12-hour shifts. He's trying to complete this for something. I promise you, bro, as soon as these robots go online, it will kill 80% of the job force. All these people who drive trucks and restaurants who don't think this can happen in Japan, they already have robots serving tables. They already have.
All right, so you get the picture, right? I won't play the whole 3-minute video clip, but so I want to dive into this, and I want to show people again that this is not some conspiracy theory. This is not some, oh my gosh, it's never going to happen type situation. This is for a fact happening and unfolding at a unprecedented pace. And if you're not careful, paying attention to it, how to survive this digital transformation, there is a high probability that you could be left behind by the completion of the 2030 agenda. So let's get into detail on this. Let's go in and share. Let's see if you guys can see this. Can you see the rest of the screen, Mr. Aqua?
Yep, I got you, bro.
Oh, sweet. All right, so let's just jump into these fundamentals. So this is from January 18th, 2024. So it's recent. Okay, this fundamental piece from Reuters. BMW taps humanoid startup figure to take on Tesla's robot. So I'm assuming that to some degree, that's what this gentleman was talking about, what he sees being developed and built at the Tesla factory. Again, I don't know what this gentleman was seeing, but let me show you even more behind the scenes things that, again, we here on the CYPRX platform have been attempting to show people is happening. And it's mind blowing that nobody's paying attention to this and they think it's a conspiracy theory, again, because it's all brand new. All of this digital transformation, this fourth industrial revolution, cryptocurrency, data analytics, digital identity, carbon credits, DeFi, all of these things, they're new to people. And usually 9 times out of 10, when something new comes onto the scene, first people, fight it. They fight it. They say that it's a scam. They they don't want to get involved in it. It's not regulated. Oh my gosh. And then once they realize that it's not going away and that the technological transformation, the super cycle that we're living through is only going to get bigger. It's only going to get stronger. It's only going to get more regulated as more people come in and more people adopt. People start to realize, oh my gosh, I should have tapped in. You should be paying attention to this. So I said to you guys, what in the actual F? This is really happening. Matrix Reloaded plus Terminator plus Ready Player One. I hope that you all are ready, and I dropped a link. And the link is to this website. Okay. It is Figure, I'm assuming, figure.ai. And they build humanoid robots. First of its kind robotic company bringing general purpose humanoid robots to life. This is for a fact happening. You can go and you can watch this, and it goes on to say on their website, with the first humanoid robot by your side in the workforce, we'll have the ability to create and produce so much more, address drastic labor shortages, and reduce the number of workers in unsafe jobs. It literally says right there, reduce the number of workers. You can't get any more clear than that. And I'm going to show you more information from a large financial institution like UBS, where they go on to confirm a certain percentage of the workforce is set to disappear over the next consecutive couple of years. So they literally tell you this on their website. And you just go click on their website. Here it is right here. Figure.ai. These robots to me literally look like the Terminator robots. Again, I have a firm belief that Hollywood, to some degree, tells us the future in movies from years ago. For example, look at Ready Player One, artificial intelligence, and then look at what's happening right now with the metaverse and the digital transformation and how everybody's in the metaverse right now and so fixated on, virtual reality goggles and whatnot. Okay. So just looking through this website, I want to read a little bit on this before we roll over into the DeFi talk today, while more people are rolling in. Again, if you're new here at CYPRX, we attempt to provide real research, real fundamental breakdowns, just going into detail, covering this digital transformation, showing you guys that this is all for a fact happening. Do us a favor, smash that thumbs up button, subscribe. Mr. Aqua is currently traveling right now, so he was able to join us through his phone. He won't be talking too much today, so I'll be hosting the majority of this call. But if you don't follow him on X, make sure that you go do so. And anybody that's interested in joining our private community and wants to tap into this information throughout the entirety of the week, staying ahead of the retail herd, then go and visit CYPRXtrading.com to view some of the services that we offer. So continuing on, why human form factor? Let's go into this figure in the news. You can see right here, it talks about BMW tapping the humanoid startups figure to take on Tesla's robots. So just to confirm, was saying in his X post, right, working at a Tesla factory, seeing these robots, you can see a fundamental article right here, and clicking open this was the fundamental article here from Reuters. So this gentleman is not popping smoke. He's really talking facts to people, but people, again, according to him, they're not paying attention. So here is a slide on their website that literally says master plan. You can see right here, figure.ai/master plan. The roadmap to a positive future powered by AI. Talks about their mission to expand human capabilities through advanced AI, talks about different possibilities, and it talks about how right now there are over 10 million unsafe or undesirable jobs in the US alone. However, take into consideration that today, Friday, we just got the US labor market data where NFP figures were downbeat, unemployment rates were higher, right? And that weighed on the strength of the dollar and showed significant cooling and weakness in the US labor market. So I just don't understand at the end of the day how there are 10 million unsafe jobs or undesirable jobs. So like, it just doesn't make sense. Am I piecing things together? How is the unemployment rate rising? There's undesirable jobs. Like, this is all a systemic implemented plan to get people on universal basic income, to keep people in their homes, and to roll out this digital agenda to track, control, and monitor everybody, and have humanoid robots replace individuals that call out sick, that get tired on the job, that fall asleep, that make errors on the job. All of that stuff is about to be replaced. And if you can't see it at the end of the day, again, you think that this is a conspiracy theory. I'm attempting to show you guys that this is happening. And this isn't just happening in one industry. Let's take a look in the car manufacturing industry. This is a report. This is a PDF that I shared on July 7, 2024 from BMW themselves. Okay. And we're going to get into this report right here. But I just want to show you all, this is what I'm talking about, how it is my firm belief that Hollywood predicts things in advance. This is a, a clip of the Terminator robot, right? And if you come over here to the robot from this BMW group PDF, where they talk about humanoid robots in agreement with Figure to introduce general purpose humanoid robots in BMW's Spartanburg, hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly, facility, you can see right here, the robots literally look identical to the Terminator robots. Here's that PDF right here. If you guys ever want to take it upon yourself to go and read it in detail. The BMW Group Rethinking Premium Individual Mobility for the Next 100 Years. This is from June 2024. So it is recently updated. All right. How many individuals do you know? How many BMWs do you see on the street rolling around? Most likely you know what BMW is. Here they're literally telling you all, if you scroll right down here on this document, talks about humanoid robots replacing jobs, coming into the car manufacturing industry and doing jobs that humans get tired of doing, call out sick doing, so on and so forth. Okay. And you can see the company that they're using is this Figure company, right? The company that I just showed you guys that has a master plan to literally build these humanoid robots into the workforce. Okay. So this is not a joke. This is not some conspiracy theory. This is happening. And over the next consecutive couple of years, by the 2030 agenda, you're going to see it unfold. You need to really buckle down and take into consideration that now is the time to capitalize on these opportunities in the market to expand and grow your wealth, because they are attempting to attack it. They are attempting to devalue our fiat currency at such a rapid and unprecedented pace. They're attempting to replace our jobs. They're attempting to get you on universal basic income, keep you locked inside your house so that way you don't travel, and that way they can tax you on almost everything that they don't already tax you on to a higher degree. I know it sounds conspiratorial, but if you do research, the devil is in the details. This is happening, people. And again, I feel that I was placed on this earth to enlighten people and wake people up, which is, again, what we do here in the CYPRX community. And the people in the community are thriving because they're staying ahead of the curve. This video breakdown of this gentleman was put out July 31st, 2024, and it got 1.7 million views, right? It started trending. However, here in the CYPRX community, we've been sharing documents like this from large financial institutions for over 2-3 years now in the private CYPRX community, way ahead of the retail crowd that's just now catching up to the possibility of artificial intelligence and humanoid robots replacing their job, right? So that's why it's so important to be a part of a community of like-minded individuals that are tapped into this information before it gets fed to the mainstream masses, okay? So here is, I just want to show you guys that this is for a fact coming from large financial institutions. This is not just us making this up or some guy that works at Tesla. This is information that's being trickled down from large financial institutions. So here is a document from UBS, okay? And if we scroll down here, I'm not going to read this entire thing. That would bore you guys to death. But if we come right down here to page 17 of this document, and again, remember, this is from a large financial institution. It says right here, nearly 40% of jobs worldwide are highly exposed to artificial intelligence, rising to nearly 60% in advanced economies like the US. So if you live in the US right now, again, you're a more vulnerable part of the population who's exposed to being replaced by artificial intelligence. Of such roles globally, roughly half are expected to be enhanced by AI, while the other half are more likely to be replaced. It literally says that right there. Okay, I'm not making this up. This is coming from UBS. And this is an updated document from 2024. There is also a polarization between professions, typically favoring those with higher skills and likely higher incomes already. Automation is not a new phenomenon. Of course, the OECD estimated that from 2012 to 2019, 14% of jobs were at high risk of automation, yet overall employment growth for the period was still an impressive 12%. Similarly, despite the potential disruption in artificial intelligence that it may cause, it is expected to be a net creator of jobs. Interesting. Between 400 and 800 million jobs globally may be automated, while another 555 to 890 million new ones may be created by 2030. But there is a risk of significant differential impacts for different groups. Areas where jobs were provided by concentrated industries like car making and Michigan, showing what happens when those jobs start to disappear, deep recession, followed by political upheaval as citizens look to those who promised a reclamation of their lost socioeconomic status. So it literally talks about how eventually, to some degree, people will wake up, will suffer some type of deep depression as individuals lose jobs. And again, if you're not keeping pace with the digital transformation, learning things like data analytics, Web3 technology, blockchain, cryptocurrency, CBDC, stable coins, all these new things, these new categories, this new niche that's about to create all these new jobs, you're going to fall behind. It's just the fact. If you look at every single industrial revolution that we've ever lived through as a civilization, the same thing happens over and over and over again. And right now, we are in the midst of the fourth industrial revolution. If you can't see that, okay, I don't know what to tell you. It literally talks about the Industrial Revolution right here. Okay. So, and the reason why I'm attempting to show you this is so that way you don't think we're just making this up. I like to prove things so that way people don't think this is conspiratorial, and then you can take that information, hopefully feed off of it, and go and do your own research or attempt to join a like-minded group of individuals like ours or many others out there to further your education. So this is another document presented information by large financial institutions. It is the Hong Kong Institute for Monetary and Financial Research. And this is from 2024, I believe in June, if I'm not mistaken. Now, in this document, here it is right here. I wanted to show you guys where and what this information, who it's coming from. So in this document, they surveyed a total of 59 entities who participated in this survey, including 40 financial institutions and 19 virtual asset service providers, right? So this information that I'm about to read to you, again, is coming from people with much more money than you and I. And if we scroll up to the top of this, you can see the name of this document, Decentralized Finance, i.e. DeFi. We'll get into that in just one second. Current landscape and regulatory developments. This is again from June 2024. So this is updated information, all right? Now, look at what it says here in this document. It talks about opportunities and challenges for the financial services industry in the metaverse, okay? Here it says the rapid evolution of technology has given rise to a new digital frontier, i.e. the metaverse. Originally conceived in Neil Stephen's science fiction novel Snow Crash as a virtual universe inhabited by avatars that engage with one or another digitally, the metaverse has now become a reality. What did I say to you guys just a second ago? That Hollywood, right, depicts our future over years ago, years like this was when did Terminator come out, right? Years ago, 20 years ago, probably, right? Something like that in the 1990s. I believe the first Terminator came out, maybe earlier than that. I don't know. Off the top of my head, I'm not a Terminator fan like that. But people, again, we suffer. We are a species that suffers from amnesia. People forget about the Terminator movies because they haven't watched them in years. Okay. So then when stuff like this comes out, people forget that they've been programming us to go and transition into this digital transformation for the longest time. And in this document, literally from a large financial institution and surveys from financial institutions, they literally tell you that this is becoming a reality and how this was originally conceived in a science fiction novel. Just to back what it is that I'm trying to show you guys, that this is not freaking make believe. Okay. So I thought that I'd share that with you all. And then here's another piece from the same exact PDF. And it talks about how 85% of the market participants that were surveyed expect this metaverse development to affect the financial services industry to a certain extent. You can see that right here. Furthermore, 85% of the market participants expected in this survey and the metaverse development affect the financial services industry to a certain extent. So this is why you should be paying attention, because the financial institutions are paying attention. They are the ones telling you all that this is happening. They are the ones telling you all that they are paying attention. In the same exact survey, there's a video breakdown on the YouTube channel where I go into detail about how in this survey, they talk about how they're invested in DeFi, how they're invested in cryptocurrency, right? I'll even show you guys that real quick while we transition. So if we come right down here, you can see again, remember 50 participants were surveyed in this. And here they go on to talk about DeFi. They go on to talk about how they're invested in DeFi. Let me show you the statistics real quick. I believe it's on page 50. Just to show you that financial institutions are 110% involved in DeFi. So here it says right here, the DeFi-specific activities undertaken by the survey respondents were noticeable but needed to be further developed. Specifically, 29% of respondents indicated that they had developed or operated in DeFi protocols. Boom, right there. And again, who was surveyed in this report? Financial institutions. This just goes to show that DeFi is not a scam. It is not a joke. It is happening. And so is the rest of all of this stuff that the researchers have been attempting to tell you guys for the longest time, that this digital transformation is happening. It is ongoing. And it's only going to pick up at a rapid pace where people that aren't tapped in, that aren't keeping up with the times, are going to start to fall behind. If you're not attempting to grow and scale your wealth and now earning yield on your money, on your dollars, regardless of what jurisdiction you're from, you are slacking. You're not combating against the devaluation of your currency. You're not combating against inflation. And I just don't understand why. It's most likely due to lack of education and lack of financial understanding of how they're devaluating our fiat currencies and so on and so forth, or your skepticism surrounding DeFi and how to leverage it and so on and so forth to your benefit. But again, that's why it's important for you now to get involved. Before these big players, before these financial institutions come in and buy everything up at a discount to a point where the normal every average day individual for these utility-driven assets in these DeFi ecosystems are not going to be paying cents on the dollar for these digital assets. If you get in after the financial institutions, mark my word, you will be paying a very high premium for these assets. And again, teach his own, right? Not financial advice. So that's my spiel on the digital transformation. Let's roll over. I was going to read this document. This one was a little scary. It talks about the Internet of Bodies, and it goes on to talk about all of the digital disruption that they're attempting to implement into the human, genome. It's really kind of crazy. Let me just briefly overview this real quick because it's nuts. It talks about microchip implants right here. It talks about baby monitoring systems that you can like attach to your children. It talks about augmented reality contact lenses in this, depression headsets. Now, this depression headset right here talks about how, remember in the document I shared, if you don't remember in a previous video breakdown on a call, I shared how the World Economic Forum talked about in virtual reality, people could get so attached to their virtual avatar and the life they live in their virtual reality ecosystem that once they leave that virtual reality ecosystem and they come back to the real world, they could find themselves depressed because of how bad the real world is compared to their virtual reality life. And here you can literally see them talking about depression headsets. That's insane. Wow, it's gnarly what's about to happen. If you guys ever want to read into this document a little bit further, it's called The Internet of Bodies, Opportunities, Risks, and Governance. Again, shout out to the CYPRX researchers for dropping this one. Okay, so let's take a break right there. Let's transition.